We have a very special guest this morning. Woke up early just for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth Meyers.
Good morning, everyone. Hello,
Wow. I'm not used to seeing you casual.
Thank you. And can I just say, my wife did not like this sweater this morning.
Really?
Please.
Why?
Thank you. I like that you were...
Is it cashmere? I touched it. I don't know if that's... Like,
I don't know either.
I'm not allowed to do, but it's very
please,
soft.
please.
Go ahead.
It's very soft.
Yeah, thank you.
It's cashmere.
And yet she just gave me one of those looks this
What
morning.
would she rather?
I don't know. You know, that's the thing. She's inscrutable.
We have a tradition here, Seth.
Okay.
Whenever we have any new at the
Did you
panel,
say inscrutable?
we take a selfie.
You just blew my mind.
There we go. Okay.
And then we add you to the wall.
We add you to the selfie wall.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
It's funny because as a wife, I too would critique an outfit, but offer no possible suggestion.
Yeah.
Just critique.
Because
Not
we've seen
a
Brian.
way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Seth is here, and we'll talk more about this. You've got a great new Netflix special.
Yeah.
that's right.
And a lot of folks probably find it hard to believe. This is your first one.
It's my first one. Yeah.
So we'll talk about that.
Thank you.
But we also have him here because today marks 1 year from 2020.
1 year from the election. How about that, guys?
it's election day here and all across the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Still 8 Democratic primary debates left.
Only 8? Wow.
One of which will be co-hosted
watched
by
them all.
MSNBC and the Washington Post later this month. You do a lot of politics on your show.
We do. It's an interesting time to have a late night show because I feel audiences really engage with it. They like to talk about it. They like to hear about it, and I think they appreciate any time you can lay it out in a way that also has jokes. Makes it go down a little bit either.
More digestible.
Little
Can I tell you, there would be sometimes things are going on. I remember when things happen in Syria or what have you, and it gets kind of wonky and nuanced and people don't understand it. They'll go to the late night shows. They'll go to your show. They'll go to the Daily Show. They go to shows to try to almost make it clear, try to, palpable, if you will. I think people have a thirst for it. They have a desire
I
for
always say, I think we're all, everyone you mentioned are good secondary news sources. I feel like you try to get it from the news first. That's where we're getting it.
That would be good.
Yeah, of
No, but
course.
it's true. You get
I know I know what table I'm at.
People do see you guys that as their primary news source. Do you feel a certain responsibility?
We do feel a responsibility to get the facts right and try to lay it out in a way that can make it, for people who aren't maybe, fully engaged in stories like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we don't. We think fair means to be honest and to get the facts right, and so we try really hard.
You do. Okay, well, speaking of Election Day, I'm late on this one. There was another vote last night on Dancing with the Stars. I haven't had a chance to see it. Apparently, former Press Secretary Sean Spicer gaining enough votes once again to avoid elimination.
Look how surprised she is.
Yeah.
His partner.
That's a professional dancer.
Right? And she's surprised.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been watching it, apparently throughout his time on the show, he's received low scores from all of the judges, but he continues to receive support from the public.
Because the president keeps voting, tweeting out, vote for Sean Spicer. He did it yesterday. He said, vote for Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars. He's a great and very loyal guy who is working very hard.
I've actually caught a few clips.
How is he?
Well, whatever your politics, and I know Sean, and I don't want to, but he's a bad dancer.
But the best part is
partisan position.
the costumes they put him in are meant obviously to humiliate him at every step of the way.
Well, maybe people feel like, see, that's the thing. When you try to tell people how to vote, then they're going to say, you know what? Okay, well, we're going to vote for him. Apparently last night, the head judge, Lynn Goodman, right, he shared an honest reaction. Listen to this about Sean.
What do you think? Wow! We keep throwing you out the boat, and the viewers keep throwing a life preserver. Why not?
Well, there you go. We'll see what happens.
Spicer will probably be there until the finals.
You'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Have you seen him dance at all, Seth?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing. It's in the
I think I'm
costume.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So here's what's
There's
interesting.
not a hole in my life that I need to fill.
If you don't want to talk about politics in your new Netflix special, which I don't know how you got Netflix to actually do this.
Yeah.
Is a skip politics.
Yeah,
button.
there's a when it gets to the section about politics, I lay out an option for the viewers where they, and I have to thank Netflix and their hardworking engineers who actually built a skip politics button that you can jump ahead in the special to when I stop talking about.
Do you just jump ahead, or is there something special?
There's a payoff to it.
Why? Why did you feel compelled to allow people?
I think you'll see it, and you'll see that really it seems like I'm talking about a serious option for people, but really the whole thing might be a joke.
It's a little dodge. By the way, the special's name is Lobby Baby.
It is called Lobby Baby.
And for those who don't know, could you tell us why?
Yeah, which one do you got for us? Yeah, there you go.
Adorable.
Yeah, there he is. Those are my boys.
You have 2 sons.
Yeah, my baby Axel.
My wife goes down and she lies on her back in the lobby, and I can't.
Oh.
That was great. Well, I think
the
that.
start of a good joke.
Yeah, well, I was going to explain it, but that really laid it out. He was born in the lobby of the apartment building because he came really fast.
Which one was born in the lobby?
The little one. Yeah.
Like, how does a baby come that fast? I'm thinking when I gave birth to my son, I mean, it was hours of excruciating pain before.
I could answer that question, but I still don't really understand how any of it works. The baby, there's a birth canal. No. No, he... Well, our first one came very fast. Was almost born in the backseat of an Uber, and yeah, she's just.
Your wife is lucky.
I will say, watching a baby get born in the lobby of your apartment building, the only thing I'm so happy was the second one, because they all look wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and the first time when the first one was born, I saw it happening, and I was like, well, this is obviously something terrible is happening, and yet all the doctors were like, this is totally normal. So having been with medical professionals the first time, I mean, with the second one, if it was the first one, I would have watched and been like, I don't think any of us are going to make it.
So like, was the doorman the Godfather? Or?
Our doormen, we're very lucky to have 2 doormen on duty, and we pay for both of their therapy.
In fact, we got a little shot here. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
So my wife chooses lobby, and my wife goes down and she lies on her back in the lobby, and I cannot stress to you how quickly she gave birth to our son. I was on the phone with 911, and this was the extent of my conversation with 911. We're about to have a baby, we're having a baby, we had a baby. And let me tell you, it is very strange to be on a 911 call that ends with the operator saying, congratulations!
Did you enjoy it, doing the special?
Yeah, it was a really fun thing. It was very enjoyable. It is a very much a departure from what I do every night on late night, and it's a lot of talking about the people that are dearest and nearest to me, and often at their expense. Yeah, it's... They are okay with it, and I'm very lucky to have people who keep generating content. Yeah. I generate the comments, they generate the content.
If you have a third child, perhaps you should just stay like in the apartment.
Yeah.
Get a doula.
Absolutely. I
Walk
think,
around with someone. While you're here, let's talk about this, because there's this website. It's called Man Repeller. Yes, it's a real website. It's called Man Repeller.
I think this is a good idea.
They're advocating for making friends with someone in the office bathroom.
In the bathroom.
The writer started a new job. He started striking up conversations with colleagues in the bathroom. Eventually, everyone started to know who she was.
See, but I think girls' bathrooms and men's bathrooms are totally different. Girls, you know, we put on our lipstick. You know, you bond.
Okay.
It's a chance to bond. What are the rules in the men's room?
No, I don't want to make any new friends.
No eye contact.
I never walk into the bathroom like, I hope I walk out of here with one more friend.
So no, like nice shoes.
No.
I feel like that's where we connect.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You know me. I make friends in random
I don't know you in the bathroom.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, because then after you've kind of connected, then you go back on the hallway, you see her again, you're like,
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a thing?
Yeah.
I think it's a thing.
I just didn't know guys don't even communicate in the bathroom.
No.
When I see someone I saw in the office bathroom, I make as little eye contact as if we murdered someone together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, last question. Do you ever wonder how to politely end a conversation? Let's say, you know, we have the holiday season coming up. You're going to a cocktail party. You're talking to somebody, right? You're tired of talking to me. How do you get out of it?
See, this is problematic because I finish my drink. And so over the course of the evening, based on the number I have to end.
That's genius, actually.
Yeah, but it's not if you've got a full nog, you know, then, yeah. So that's historically what I've done.
I'm really bad at it because I'm not very good at chit chat. So after like the first couple minutes of how the kids, blah, 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 I'm like,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a nodder, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to get out of this situation.
We might all see each other at I mean, there's probably going to be an NBC holiday party,
sure
so let's just all, the 5 of us, agree right now that, I think we should all just agree that when we're talking to each other, any one of us, we should have a safe word. You know, what's a safe word? Let's just say it's, I don't know, mistletoe.
Okay.
All right, so if one of you just goes mistletoe, that means you done.
All right,
Now, the life hacker says you should invite the person to lunch. I think it's the worst idea possible.
Worse than, or just be like, let's get a sandwich in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. It says, let's grab lunch or coffee sometime. Then you have to.
Because it's an end.
No, but then you have to go to lunch with that person.
Well, I don't think you have to follow up on it.
They're going to follow up
down the road.
If you invite them to lunch, they're going to follow up.
You think so?
Why?
Absolutely.
Maybe I'm having as miserable a time in the conversation as you
I don't think so. I'm not. No. I just basically say, oh, you know, it's been fun, but I got to go mingle.
Dang.
And I just walk away.
You're just very honest, right?
Here in the studio.
It's
honest.
mistletoe. Yeah.
That's right. Or bathroom.
always, exactly.
Seth, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Robbie,
it's
baby.
so fun.
It's streaming now on Netflix, right?
That's right.
You can watch it right now.